Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in you. In today's Michelleology, I am Michelle and I'm your motivator on this miraculous, motivating, mind-blowing Monday. I give honor to the Savior. I am grateful for an opportunity to come before you again. We're continuing our series of this is part 6 of evolving from a slavery mentality. A lot of us did not recognize or realize that we had a slavery mentality, but we've been talking, if you haven't been joining me on the first 5 introductory parts up until this point, to know that we have to change our mind because our mind has been conditioned. And they say by the age of 35, 95% of your thinking is conditioned by your outside uh, connections, like your family, your friends, teachers, all of those things. And so, in order for us to be the great people that we should be, we have to get our mind back because our mind is the motivating factor for what our body does. And so, our body can be free, but if your mind is still in a state of slavery, you're never going to be able to process or be the purpose-filled person that God has created you to be. So today, as we celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday, I really want to go to parts of his speech that indicate the difference between a dream and a vision. A dream is given in an unconscious state. That means it has not um, happened or it has not come forth yet. It's like prophetic and it's said prior to what could happen. So, as his speech all those years ago about he had a dream has come into a vision because we're moving to parts of that speech. You must go back and read the entire speech and you will get a revelation as to what God is doing now. There are parts of his speech that indicate he had a dream that one day his 4 children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. So as we're moving into this new administration, this is not about a political administration. This is about a spiritual administration as God moves his people back into the space and places that they were supposed to be, as we're getting back, and I'll keep saying, our nationality, we're getting back our inheritance, we're getting back our birthrights, because thy will has been done. And God has left us dominion over our land, or has given us dominion over our land. And so as we take our positions, we're moving from color to consciousness. This is a spiritual battle. It's not about color. We've made it about color, but it's about fear and consciousness. Moving from fear to faith, moving from color to consciousness. It is a lateral move. It is where we're moving in that 5th dimension area of our true freedom. So it's not enough to be released from slavery, body-wise, if you have not released your mind. And so it's kind of like the story about the children of Israel that came out of the slavery. They came out with great substance. A lot of them were not aware of the great substance that they had. They had seen that God had delivered them. But once they came against the Red Sea, where it looked like eyesight, not insight, where it looked like they physically were not going to make it to the other side, they begin to tell Moses, oh, we want to go back. Why didn't you leave us in slavery? They wanted to go back to normal. Like many of us are crying to get back to normal, but it was never normal. We were just conditioned that it was. And so as we begin to move forward, we are at the Red Sea. We have all of our substance. God has given us, restored everything back to us, but we're at the Red Sea, not knowing how we're going to get across. But we're in the trance also. And trance means across, through, and beyond. So miraculously, can't get it out, as the miracles of God, the hand of God is on his people, as this is the year of royalty and riches, that we're being restored back into the administration where we are ruling and reigning in our positions. Royalty and riches, reigning. It's raining now, like RAINING, but we're ready to reign, REIGN. And so as we begin to make the transition across, through, and beyond, we have to change our mind. A slave cannot rule as a king. So you cannot have a slavery mentality if you're going to rule a nation. And so as we begin to move to that, we have to find ourselves locating, examining, and uh, probably propelling to the greatest version of ourselves, our authenticity. It takes away the competition. We are our greatest competition. We're our only competition. And it takes away the jealousy because we're all going to the front line at the same time. So we'll be blessed at the same time. So we have no need to envy or be jealous of somebody else. God is bringing balance. He is bringing us to have it everything in common together. And so as we begin to come together, the separation is removed. The racism is removed. The political fights are removed. We are coming into the land of milk and honey. We are coming into a place and a space where there's no lack. There's no homeless. There's no hungry. And so if we all come together and help those that are hungry and homeless, we all have everything in common. And so that's all God created us for, is to help each other. And so now we've gotten so greedy because of how we've been conditioned, and we have a fear that if we don't get this, then we're not going to be accepted. And fear has been ruling the world. So the new administration is restoring the faith back into the universe so that we can live, love, and laugh, so that we can rest and not be stressed, so that we don't have to fight against each other because of a color, that we'll just be conscious that we have everything in common. God gave everyone a measure of faith, everyone to prosper by. And so we have to help those that haven't been prospering. We have to show them a way. We have to be kind. We have to be loving. We don't have to fight. We don't have to be mad just because you're one color and I'm another color. But what is my consciousness? Let's help raise the consciousness in the universe. Let's wake up. Let's be enlightened. Let's move forward. So another part of the dream, he begins to say that he's basically saying the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And he's saying that we're coming to, when I say the last shall be first and the first shall be last, it's allowing everyone an opportunity to experience every state and know how a situation can be if you're in that state, but finding yourself to be content in whatever state you find yourself in. There are some people that are with money could never survive the life that we live or I live, because it doesn't contain all of those things, and they have become attached to things and detached from God. So God is attaching us back to him, and we are now in the state of moving to the new administration. Oh, that's good. Well, in today's Michelleology, this is Michelle, and I'm your motivator. So I'm motivating you to evolve, to change, to move from that slavery mentality and possess the land. Possess your land that you have been given dominion over. And that's this, getting your mind back, getting your thoughts back, getting everything back, restoring it, moving to a place and a space of authenticity. Moving to a place in the space of freedom. Yes, remember, we've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations right now and stop duplicating others, because we are a chosen people, a royal priesthood. So now we have to operate in that mentality. The days of slavery, the head of that has been cut off. That giant has been cut off. And so now, as we have captured the giant of fear, and we're walking and raising up the giant of faith, we move into the new administration. Again, this is Michelle, and I'm your motivator. Please subscribe so that you know when my next video is coming out. I want you to be very prepared for this week. Anything could happen, but as long as you have God on your side, who can be against you? So may the love, joy, peace, power, and sound-mindedness be your soul food for today. And remember, create your day. Don't let your day create you. Have a blessed one.